December 10th, 2024. Our phone number is 877-937-1047. Text the show, text JJR and whatever's on your mind to the number 96893. Is everybody here done Christmas shopping? Have we all Christmas shop? Kyle, you're done?
I'm not done.
You're not done?
No, I still have a few people left on the list.
When you shop, you're shopping for more than just your husband and your kids. You're shopping for...
Correct.
Oh, yikes. What about you, Peyton?
Yeah, I'm about halfway done. I've gotten the majority of the girls done. The guys are the ones that always are tricky for me. Like my boyfriend, my brother, and my dad, I struggle with all of the time. So I'm halfway there. And actually, some of my packages came in this morning, so I'm excited to wrap them and put them under my little janky tree that I have.
What about you, Rich?
I am officially done as of yesterday. And because of the internet, I finished a lot faster. I only went into one store to get one thing for one kid. I went in Walmart, and that's it. Everything else is online. I mean, I'm done with my wife, Stacy. I'm done with my kiddos. I'm done with my Secret Santa here on the show. I am good. I took care of my dad, my brother. Everybody's good.
That's impressive.
Done.
I haven't done one thing yet.
Oh, really?
Do you ever?
I know. I'm like, will you do one thing?
Well, it's funny, too, because it's like, I think I haven't had this conversation with my wife yet, but I'm kind of like, do we really need to get each other something, you know? And I'm sure she's going to say no, which means I have to get her something. Then I don't know how I can get her something, because if I buy it online, she'll open it because it comes with all the other things, right?
So you get in your car, and then you drive to the mall.
Right, but then she's like, why are you at the mall?
Yeah.
Then,
That's
it's like
true.
my day, everywhere I go, my day, she knows exactly where I am at all times, and there's no reason. I mean, if I was at the mall, it's kind of weird because you want to just, I remember when I was a kid, or my mom would give us a gift, and I'd always be like, when did you get that? Like, how did it happen? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's this mystery to shop. But to go, I'm going to go shopping for you, makes me feel, I don't know, makes it less.
Well, is there anything else you have to do at the mall? Like, you could be like, oh, I got to go get my Whoop fixed, or I have to return a pair of shoes.
That's smart.
And then you
But then she'd
are
do it
going
for
to the
me.
mall to do that.
She was, I'll do it for you.
Then you say, no, I got this.
You know what
one.
she
You've
said
had a
yesterday?
rough day.
You got quite the life.
Yesterday she goes,
It's kind of easy just to say you're doing something
because
else.
also she shops for the kids, so I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and in fact, she was even talking about how they're like so much older now that we just give them money.
Yeah.
You don't have to give them anything.
That's what we want.
That's on the list.
Right? She said yesterday, she goes like, so what do you got? What are you doing today? And I was like, oh, I'm going to work out, and then I'm going to go hiking, and then I'll be home. And she goes, I got to go grocery shopping, and then I got to go to Nordstrom to return some stuff, and I got to get a couple things at the mall. She goes, why don't you come with me? And I'm like,
Well, there's your hint right there. Why don't you say, when I go with you, why don't we go on a little shopping spree for you for Christmas? My treat. So you buy her something that
my
she
treat,
picks out.
we have the same budget. We
I
have
know.
the same accounts.
Yeah, so just words. But you get her something that she wants, and then you wrap it and put it in a tree. She'll probably forget about it by the time Christmas comes
Right.
I don't know what she
And
wants.
it's not like you can be like, oh, I'm going to get my Secret Santa gift, because I feel like Blake always gets your Secret Santa gift for you.
Yeah.
And
She
do
does.
you even know who your Secret Santa is again?
Well, it's kind of funny because when we did the Secret Santa thing, right? I opened up my note and I put it in my mouth and chewed it, and then I forgot who my Secret Santa was because it was so fast. I kind of remember, but I also don't know if that was years ago.
Oh, my gosh. No.
I know.
Okay.
I know. So I'm gonna have to get a present for all of you, and then wait, and then just do process of elimination.
That's insane.
Yeah. Oh, let's do some updates. A couple people have sent some text messages asking about Peyton's ring. Right, you lost your class ring, your championship ring in high school.
Yeah, well, so it was a ring that I got my sophomore year of college for going to the NCAA tournament and winning like our region championship. Mm-hmm. And I wore the ring to one of my high school girls basketball games. I spilt soda on my hand, and I don't know if the ring slipped off or if it fell off in my car or if I took it off and put it on the roof of my car, and now it's just in the streets of Chandler, Arizona. I don't know. But I'm getting my car detailed today with the hopes that the ring shows up somewhere in my car, because my car is actually disgusting to the point.
You're getting it
gross.
detailed? I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm getting it detailed for one because it's so gross. There's a stench in there that I can't get rid of. I don't know where it's coming from. And then also hopefully to find my ring. So we'll see.
So did you go back to, where was it? Firehouse Subs? Where was it that you went?
Port of Subs.
Did you go back there to look for it?
I did.
Okay, and there was nothing there.
There was nothing there.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so you're gambling that it's in your car because your car's a disaster, which is what happened to my wife's car is spotless, and we couldn't find her keys. And they were in the car somewhere.
Yeah, it's so bad to the point where, like, every time I get my car detailed, Kadeem feels some type of way because he's like, why didn't you ever get my car detailed? Blah, 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 blah. And I told him I was getting my car detailed. He's like, yeah, you need it. I'm not even mad right now.
Okay, so Jenna, who's behind the scenes on the show, she did share something because she was going to a wedding and she went to this app, the Pickle app, right? Where you cut pretty much as like Uber, you use someone else's clothes, right?
Yeah.
And you got screwed over.
I got major screwed over, but peace has been restored. War is over, guys. I got my full refund for my dress and the late charges that they hit me with. So I got like $100 back.
Good.
Yeah. I was in the chat fighting the chat support, and I'm not usually like that, but I was like, no, we're not messing around. Like,
You shouldn't have had to fight that. That was clearly lame that they did that to you in the first place.
And charge you extra?
They charged me extra for not returning it on time, and I was like, how did you expect me to return it on time when it literally came the day I was supposed to have it back to you? Right. And they're like, we're checking into this. I'm like, there's nothing to check into, respectfully. I added the respectfully in parentheses, but I was like, no, there's nothing to check into.
Were you talking to a human being or a chatbot?
I don't know. Everyone had a different name, and they had weird names. So I thought they were real, but they could have very easily been like a bot, an AI bot.
But you got your money back.
I got my money back.
Yay.
It's back in my account. We're good. But whew,
Will you ever rent from Pickle again?
I don't think so. It really traumatized me.
It sounds like a good idea.
It does. And like maybe locally, and maybe if I know the seller, but I don't think I can. That one really hurt. I don't think I
get
can do that
lucky
again.
on so many levels that dress even fits you.
I know.
You know?
There's a lot that goes into it, and I just literally got the most unlucky.
You know how you've heard of that Turo app?
Yeah.
Where people can rent a car, your car. I want to try that like Pickle, but with my like I bought a whole bunch of new Gap clothes, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my old Gap clothes and have a special Gap closet and use it on Pickle. Used Gap shirts. I wonder how much. $1.50. $1.50 each shirt. You can rent it. You got to give it back in a week. Kyle, what's coming up? 3 things you need to know.
Authorities arrested a suspect in connection with last week's murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The suspect is 26 years old. His name is Luigi Mangione. Was actually eating at McDonald's in Pennsylvania. An employee recognized him, called the cops, and they arrested him. He's going to face gun charges in Pennsylvania, and then they're going to extradite him to New York to face legal action there. Now, they're warning us to be really careful what you decide to travel with this holiday season. You may be tempted to wrap those gifts you're bringing to your friends and family ahead of to get ahead of the ball game. But listen, if TSA for any reason finds your package suspicious, they're going to unwrap it. So they said,
that's fun for them.
Don't wrap your gifts ahead of time, because if they need to, they're just going to unwrap it. They say, if you really do want to get ahead, put it in like a gift bag. That way they just take the tissue paper out. You can put the tissue paper back in.
I wonder if they unwrap it, nicely, or they like open it like it's a present.
Surprise, it's a
drone. And then they go, oh, I guess this is okay. And then do they try to tape it back up? Like, what do they do with your bags? When they open your bag, you got to close up your bag.
Yeah.
And they're on the move, so they don't have time.
Yeah,
they're in a hurry. I don't think they're being very careful with your packages. So that's why they're warning you. Just don't wrap it in wrapping paper. If you want to wrap it, just put it in a gift bag, because then if they have to search it, you can just put it back nicely as well. One Florida man has set himself apart from his neighbors' decorations this year. He combined his love for Christmas decorating and the classic 1983 movie A Christmas Story. This guy created a massive replica of the leg lamp from A Christmas Story. It's 20 feet tall.
Oh, that's giant.
He said it's exact to scale. And he said it's fantastic because a lot of kids walk by, they haven't seen the movie, they wonder what it is, and the parents are like, oh, now we got to watch that movie.
That's
so he thinks
awesome.
he's spreading the joy of A Christmas Story while also having a very unique Christmas decoration in his yard. And it's ginormous. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Speaking of movies, Payne, what movies you're watching?
Twilight. The Twilight series is in like the top 10 on Hulu.
So
I'm
topical.
binging it right now. And when you watch it, it's like you can see how much stride we've made like in the cinema world with the movies and stuff. It's very funny to watch, but it still holds up. It's still a good movie. And I was always Team Jacob, but now I feel like I'm Team Edward.
Oh, wow.
No.
What changed?
No.
What changed?
I don't know. There's just something about his pale skin that glistens like a diamond.
I mean, vampires should always win over werewolves.
But like Taylor Lautner is just so stinking cute. You just want to cuddle him because he's a wolf. Anyways, I'm now obsessed with the Twilight series again.
And Kyle, are you any further with Black Doves?
I am further. I think I'm on episode 5, maybe?
There's only 6.
All right. Then I'm getting close to
pretty
the
good,
end.
huh?
It's really good. It's I did not want to stop watching it.
Yeah. And Rich, did you finish Lioness?
I finished Lioness yesterday. Oh my God,
That's
that
a good
show
show.
is so intense.
I think Zoe Saldana got nominated for that role, but I'm
She
not
should.
sure for Golden Globe. I think.
I mean, it's like I think Kyle, you'd really like that show. I mean, it's like CIA underground operatives like taking out bad guys, but it goes sideways in a hurry and for a long time.
I put on. Someone told me to watch this show called The Agency. It's with Richard Gere.
Oh yeah,
And
I just saw a
handful of
preview
people.
for that.
Oh my God, it's so slow. I was like 25 minutes in. I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
So not good?
No, so far, no. Like right now, you put on a show, something happens within the first 3 minutes of a show nowadays, right?
Yeah.
So now, like, you know whether you're going to commit. And maybe this is for smart people, but I'm 20 minutes in and I'm like, I fell asleep. I was in the sauna watching. I fell asleep, and I woke up like, whoa.
It's probably just like the real agency where it's all paperwork. They just show people doing paperwork.
Man, oh man. But Landman dropped another episode too. I highly recommend that show.
That's
Billy
great, too.
Bob Thornton. That's a good show. And then, so I'm watching Landman, and a friend of mine says, you know, the girl, one of the stars, she's this beautiful girl, plays Billy Bob Thornton's daughter. She went to ASU. I was like, no way. He goes, yeah. So I was like looking her up on Instagram. She went to ASU and she like graduated last year.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she's already been in 2 shows. She was in 1923 or whatever that is, the one with Harrison Ford.
That's really good too.
And then she's in this show right now as Billy Bob Thornton's daughter. And I was like, man, she went to ASU. I wonder if we can get her on. So I was like, someone must know her. So if you know her, I don't even know her name. Do you know her name?
I don't.
I think her last name is Randolph. But if you know her, we'd like to get her on the show. Peyton, what's the vibe for horoscopes today?
Well, we're in the middle of Sagittarius season, so I'm going to tell you about yourself in the same way a Sagittarius would.
Okay. Good morning, Brittany. What's your sign?
I am an Aries.
Okay, so Aries, you guys are the human equivalent of smashing the send button before even proofreading. You are always in a rush, you are always dramatic, and somehow the loudest in the group chat. So chill, not everything's a competition, but we still love you, Aries.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I didn't know that Sagittarians were like that. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, do we have any Sagittarians here?
We don't, but
We don't.
Taylor Swift is a Sagittarius, if that tells you anything.
okay.
Yeah, my kid Audrey's a
Hi,
Sagittarius.
Michelle. Michelle, hi. Oh, is your name not Michelle? What?
I put a typo. Hi, Melissa.
Oh, Melissa. Oh,
Hi. Sorry.
hi. What's your sign?
Gemini.
Okay, Geminis, pick a personality, okay? 1 minute you're everyone's bestie, and the next you're ghosting faster than a Snapchat streak ends. Your attention span is like a goldfish in a rave, which is chaotic energy, and we're here for it.
That sounds about right.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
What do you got for Pisces?
Yeah, Rich, my Pisces, your vibe is kind of like emo kid who never left your Tumblr phase. So very sweet and dreamy, but also lost in your feelings 24/7. So cry it out, but stop texting your ex because you deserve better.
I think my Tumblr is still active, by the way.
I loved Tumblr.
I thought it was awesome.
Back in the day, 7th grade, psh, come on.
What about Libra?
Libra, Kyle, is our Libra in the room. You couldn't make a decision if your life depended on it. So, you need to make a decision here, Kyle. What's more important, your aesthetic or showing up on time? So, either way, you're going to charm your way out of all of the drama once again, and we're here for it.
How could you decide which one's more important?
I know, they both are pretty equally.
How about Virgo?
Yeah, John Jay, your browser has 86 tabs open because you need everything to be perfect, but it's okay to relax a little bit. You're not saving the world by reorganizing your iHeartRadio playlist for the 10th time. Also, please stop judging everyone.
How about for you for Leos?
Yeah, Leos, congratulations. Our selfies did not need 47 hashtags. We were basically a walking Instagram filter, desperate for compliments, but also pretending that we're unbothered. So we see through you, drama queens.
All right, if we didn't get to your sign there, I'll post it on our website, johnjandrich.com. We got a big show this morning. We got Zulai tickets, less than 2 hours. Second date update, 45 minutes from now. We're about to play Sabrina Carpenter. Before you play Sabrina Carpenter, has anyone seen her Christmas special?
I watched a little bit of it.
Like
and
how
then
much
I
a little
was 10 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm done.
I was the same way.
It just didn't hold my attention.
I agree. And it's it's a lot of singing. It's pretty. It's Sabrina Carpenter, which is fun to watch. But I feel like it's just something that you put on the background of a Christmas party.
Yeah, and I'd rather just have the album.
Yeah.
Jenna, what'd you think?
I completely agree with Peyton. I feel like if you have a Christmas party, it's the perfect aesthetic for that. But it was kind of like an SNL skit but like more music. And it was just pretty to look at. And they're all beautiful, great singers, so.
Okay. It's not top 10 or anything on Netflix, is it?
I thought it was number 2.
Oh, really?
For a while
when did it come
was.
out?
Like just a couple days ago,
Yeah.
maybe 2 days
Oh,
ago.
it wasn't in the top 10 yesterday. At least.
So maybe it dropped yesterday.
May
or
have dropped,
or
but
yeah.
it was in the top 10 for a while. It's number 2.
Who were the guests on there?
Well, Tyla was the one that I saw.
Chapel Roan was in
Chapel
there with
Roan.
her.
That's cool.
All right.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cute, but not like.
Yeah, it's not in the top 10 anymore.
Random information I have. A poll found candy canes are more likely to be used as decorations than food. 60% of us use them as decorating, and some of us like to eat them.
The most delicious decorations ever. I love when candy canes are on Christmas trees because I'm just taking them left and right.
There's a new trend called airport rules, and it's a way of saying that you're treating yourself and anything goes. Like eating pizza for breakfast, having a drink at any hour, and wearing pajamas all day. You notice that when you go to the airport, sometimes you got an early flight, you see someone at the bar.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
what the hell?
In like the burger places that open up at 5 a.m., why not? Why not get a burger at 5 a.m.?
And speaking of airports, I don't know, this is all over the internet right now, and I brought it up, was it yesterday or last week, about airplane mode? Remember, I was like, that's all BS, right? Well, Pilot explains the real reason you can't use your phone on a plane, and it should be on airplane mode.
The airplane mode button on your phone is not a conspiracy. So if you forget to put your phone on airplane mode, no, it's not the end of the world. The plane will not fall out of the sky, and it won't even mess with the systems on board. However, it does have the potential to mess with the headsets. If you have an aircraft with 70, 80, 150 people on board, and even 3 or 4 people's phones start to try to make a connection to a radio tower for an incoming phone call, it sends out radio waves. There's the potential that those radio waves can interfere with the radio waves of the headset that the pilots are using. It's definitely pretty annoying when you're trying to copy down instructions. So if you're ever curious why you got to put on airplane mode, that's why.
Okay.
Fair enough.
A guy on a delayed flight stuck on the plane in Atlanta with a bunch of people. So he pulled out his saxophone. While everyone was hanging out, you couldn't get off the plane.
Let's hear you.
Enough! I would have stood up. Enough!
Oh, man.
I didn't come on this plane. They'd be like, Scrooge, Scrooge, Scrooge. Yeah, that's cool.
Good for him. That's
According
fun.
to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, blowing your nose too hard can actually make cold symptoms worse. And there's stuff going around right now. They say, instead of one big blow, take your time and blow gently. The average American will spend over $2,000 this holiday season, including $846 on travel, $658 on putting on the holidays, and $559 on gifts. Good news for coffee drinkers. A new study suggests that regular coffee consumption could extend your lifespan by nearly 2 years, which is perfect because I'm 2 years into the coffee game.
It's like coffee and beer. It's like every year they're either good for you or bad for you.
Tokyo, Japan will implement a 4-day work week for its government employees next year to encourage women to have more kids. Taco Bell is opening a new beverage-focused place called Live Mas Cafe. The first one will be in San Diego, and the servers are called Bellristas. Rich, what do you got for life hacks?
It's getting cold in the morning. Peyton, you park your car outside, right?
I do.
Have you had to deal with a icy or frosty windshield yet?
Not yet, but I have experienced it.
It's coming. It's coming probably even in the next few days here.
Okay.
So I want you to try this life hack. Here's what you do. You get a potato and you cut it in half and you rub the potato on your windshield. So the sugar from the potato creates a barrier on the window, preventing ice from forming. In the morning, you're not going to have to scrape at all.
Okay.
A half a potato. And if for some reason your locks kind of freeze up on your door, just spray a little hand sanitizer in it because it'll de-ice it in a heartbeat.
Oh, perfect.
Like within seconds, you'll be able to get in. So if you're having a cold morning, try those life hacks there up at johnjandrich.com.
Text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96893. Yesterday, Kyle was telling a story about how there's a new job now, a new career, which is a professional back scratcher. People are getting paid hundreds of dollars to scratch your back for an hour. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to call us if you know of someone that has an unusual job. And Nicole, good morning. Who do you know that has an unusual job, and what is it?
Good morning. I had a friend that was a financial dominatrix. So she had like a bunch of guys that just wanted to be in her presence. And whenever she needed money, she would call or text them and be like, give me money, you losers, and just talk down to them. And they would love it, and they would pay her money.
Oh, my God.
What do you think she was making per loser call?
I'm not sure. I remember in college, it started off, she was a foot model. And she said, hey, you want to make some money? And I said, okay. She said, all you have to do is wear these dirty socks with holes in them. We're going to put them up on the table, and we're just going to have a conversation. And this guy gave us $200 to sit there and talk about our boyfriend's small apparatuses.
Oh,
my God.
I would wear a shirt that said, give me your money, you loser. That's hilarious. Like, what a tagline.
Yeah, she bought a house. She made a whole career out of it. She was, like, big in the adult industry for a long time.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I wonder how you just fall into that. Like,
I know. I've never heard of
insane.
financial dominatrix
Right.
before. That's interesting.
I don't know. She just progressed. It started with the dirty sock foot modeling, and it went on from there. I don't know.
I can't understand the whole, like, if someone calls me, I get on the phone and they go, you're a loser. Here's $100. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I'd be like, I guess I am a loser for giving you $100 for that. It must be some sort of childhood trauma.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
The real expensive, big pocket guys would want her to, like, walk heels, like that weird, dominatrix things. But the funny part was the financial dominatrix. They didn't get anything in return, just to be called a loser.
All right.
I mean, how are we going to beat that? Nobody's going to have a better job than that.
No, that's insane.
My dad used to do that to me for free.
You'll never amount to anything.
Thanks, Nicole. Have a great day.
You too.
Hey, there's a text here. It said, you text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96893. And this is a 520 number. It says, has anyone seen the Glitter and Greed Lisa Frank documentary? It's a 10 out of 10 recommend. I started watching it yesterday.
What is it on?
Oh my God. Amazon, maybe? Let me think about that for a second. I think it's Amazon Prime Video. And it's so wild because I remember when Rich and I started on there in Tucson. Lisa Frank, everyone talked about Lisa Frank. And I remember Lisa Frank stuff. Do you remember Lisa Frank?
Yeah, Trapper Keepers. Come
Yes. So I'm on episode 1, and it's my wife. She's walking by, and she sees me. She hears the documentary, and she stops. She goes, oh my God, Trapper Keepers, just like what you said. And she's just staring at it. And she's like, why are they attacking Lisa Frank? Because I'm only on episode 1, where she started the company in 1979. She went to U of A, started the company in 1979, and it just took off making stickers or interviewing old employees. But in the commercial for it, it's like $2 million lawsuit against Lisa Frank. And someone was like, she was really mean. And I'm just like, I feel at this point, from watching the documentary and watching the trailer, that just when companies go big and massive and become successful, you find a reason to take them down.
Sure.
So far, I see nothing.
Like
I've never heard anything negative about Lisa Frank.
No, me either.
But it's like somebody wrote an article. Of course, no matter what, people left this show upset. You know what I mean? And it was all good vibes. So it's like, I feel bad for Lisa Frank. I've never met her before, and I think she still lives there. I'm kind of bummed we never met her.
She's got a great font.
One time we were on the air in Tucson, and I remember we got a package from Lisa Frank, and they sent us tons of stuff.
That's so cool.
I know.
Like, Lisa Frank was all of the rainbows and the glitters and the colors. And I've come across a couple of clips on TikTok about it. I didn't realize the documentary dropped, and I'm so in on that because that's, like, pretty close to home. So I'd be super into that.
I don't even know where her office is, where anything. It's so weird. I don't know much about it. But
I need
anyway,
to know more.
Well, there's only 4 episodes. It's on Amazon, and it's Lisa. It's number 2 on Amazon right now, or something.
And what's it called? Glitter and what? Glitter and Greed.
Glitter and Greed.
Okay. All right.
I forgot. I was going to tell you the story. Something happened yesterday that reminded me of when I was in Las Vegas on Saturday night to go see George Strait. Right. So it was, and my wife reminded me of something. I was like, oh my God! And the way she told the story through her point of view made me LOL. Because we went to go see George Strait. It was my wife, me, our friend / boss Mark, and his wife Katie. Right, so the 4 of us were together. And we had this like VIP area that we kept getting more and more like, oh my God, this is part of it. Oh my God, this ice cream is part of it. Oh my God, these free drinks, this food. It was endless. It was like gluttony of food and craziness. And as you guys know, Mark enjoys food. I enjoy food.
Yes.
So when we're together, we enjoy to eat. It's almost terrible.
It's almost a competition.
Yeah. So we go to, I told you guys about the ice cream where it was a big scoop of cookie dough ice cream and a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. And I'm eating it, and he got something. I can't remember what he got, but we're sitting there on this counter. The concert's going on, so we're not in the suite. We're in this huge area, and it's almost empty, right? Because everyone's watching the concert. It was who's the guy that opened for George Strait? I told you guys about?
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton was performing. So I'm sitting there leaning, I'm eating this ice cream, and Mark is next to me, and he's eating something. And down the way, I see our wives at the bar. They go to the bar, and there's two guys that are talking to them at the bar. And Mark goes, "Hey, look, there's two guys talking to our wives." I go, "Oh, yeah." And I'm like, "Can you believe this cookie dough ice cream?" And he's like, and he goes, "Oh, my God." He goes, "Look, I think they have movie candy here, movie theater candy here, too." I'm like, "Oh, no way." So, forgot about the whole thing. Last night, I'm telling my wife this story about a friend of mine who got hit on at a bar when his wife was there. And the wife kicked her leg up in the air the way Kyle kicks her leg up. You know, like, my friend's like, "I didn't know my wife could kick her leg like that." And says to this woman that's annoying them, "Well, are you trying to hit on my husband? Are you trying to hit on my..." Like, freaked out, right? And I was telling my wife this story. She goes, "That's so funny that she reacted that way." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Because two guys were hitting on me and Katie, and you and Mark didn't do anything." And I was like, "Huh? They were hitting on you? I saw them talking to you. They were hitting." She goes, "Yeah, they were hitting on us." And I look over you and Mark, and you're like talking about your food. I go, she goes, "What, you guys?" I go, "Yeah, I was telling Mark I couldn't believe this ice cream that I had." And he was talking about how they had movie theater snacks. And then we look over, and there's two guys literally hitting on our wives. I'm like, "Oh, that's nice."
That's really nice. That shows how much you guys love and trust in your relationships. Because
or love their food.
Movie theater candy for free. It's a big headline.
Movie theater, you never see movie theater candy at a concert.
Oh, that's a big headline.
And I was like, are there Milk Duds? There were Gummy Bears. There were Sour Patch Kids. There were Red Vines. There was huge boxes of M&Ms. But I would have gone Junior Mints or Milk Duds, but I didn't see that. I was just too caught up in my ice cream.
That's pretty impressive. That place is pretty good. I go see a show there.
Right? Anyway. And I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they were getting in on."
Nobody paid attention to Chris Stapleton? That would bother me.
No. Vicky, good morning.
Yes, hey, good morning.
Good morning. What's going on?
I was just listening to Peyton's story about a panic attack on the plane.
Yeah.
And that happened to me recently. It was crazy. I was coming back from Chicago. It was about an hour away from Tucson. I was in the first seat. There was nobody in the middle seat. I was uncomfortable and cold. And all of a sudden, I just started crying and felt very, very anxious. And I was texting my daughter, and she's like, "Well, tell somebody." And I'm like, No. I just had my head down. I just wanted to get off the plane. When we land, I get off. I go into the bathroom, and I'm literally like, like uncontrollably crying. And it was the oddest thing. I've never experienced it before. I get outside, and I get to the guy who's waiting so I could go to my car, and he's like, "Where's your ticket?" I'm like, I don't have a ticket. I didn't get a ticket. And 2 days later, I found my ticket in my bag.
Wow.
Oh, you poor thing.
Really going through it.
It was horrible. Yeah, it was really bad. I don't know what was happening. So I was so glad to get home.
There must be something in the air, like, so again, you went to go see George Strait. He has a song called "I Saw God Today," and he performed it Saturday night while we were in Vegas, and it was a great concert. My wife gets into the sauna, and she's listening to George Strait now, because you see an artist, you get caught up. She comes out of the sauna, and she goes, "Did George Strait sing 'I Saw God Today' Saturday night?" And I go, "Yeah." And she's like, "I just heard the song. It's a beautiful song. The song is..." And she's crying in front of me.
Whoa.
Crying in front of me, covered in sweat, and I'm trying to watch TV. And I didn't know how to handle it. I just started laughing.
He did.
There might be something in the air. Lots of emotions.
Yeah, it's just part.
Right? Oh, my God. But anyways, I sympathize with you, Peyton. I've been there. It's horrible.
I feel you.
Thank you, Vicky. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling in.
Have a good day.
So just to recap, two guys hit on my wife and her friend. The Lisa Frank documentary is on Amazon, and people panic on airplanes.
That covers it all.
Yep. But Sabrina Carpenter's in the news too, right?
Yeah, because she kind of opened up about the song we just played, Please, 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 about how it's duality for her. It's basically showing her musical inspiration, but then also her personal life.
I was so excited when I wrote that song because it felt like a fraction of me that I had been like waiting to not only write, but to put out and then perform. And then it just feels very in line with like all the music I grew up listening to that I love, but also very much myself. And that song was obviously based on real life events.
Right. So is driver's license, right? Isn't that Olivia Rodrigo about her?
Yeah.
Isn't that about Sabrina
Probably with that blonde girl.
Do you remember when that song came out? We were like, it's Sabrina Carpenter. She's this person. Like, we had to describe who she was.
And now she's so huge.
All right, so we were just talking about Gen Z lingo, right? And Gen Alpha lingo because the second hit update. And that hits home for you, Kyle and Fug?
Absolutely. My daughter is Gen Alpha. She's 10 years old. And she learned all the words from her older cousin. All of the words. And so it's skibbity sigma in our house, skibbity toilet, skibbity everything. In fact, my daughter has a phone, and in her phone, everybody is programmed as skibbity something. Skibbity cousin, skibbity friend, skibbity mom. Everything is skibbity whatever. And it was funny because my bonus daughter, she's Gen Z. And she was sitting in the car next to Addie, and she had her first like, oh my gosh, I'm not the younger generation moment, because she did not know skibbity. And so she looked over, and Addie had her contacts open, and my bonus daughter goes, "What's skibidi?" And Addie was like, "What?" She's like, "Skibidi, what is that?" And they just laughed and laughed and laughed. It was like, of course, it's skibbity. You don't know skibbity? And it was this a whole thing. She's like, sorry, it's not my generation.
That realization, though, it hurts your soul. It does. I mean, I'm around high school girls all the time, and I'm like, what does that even mean? What's a huzz? What's a boom that? I don't get it.
So you find out huzz?
Yeah, apparently it means
hussy,
like,
husband,
something like that. Yeah, like that's their little side.
Okay, that's Gen Alpha. So if you could go, Peyton, you're Gen Z, right?
Yeah, I'm
What's
Gen Z.
What's one word you think that it would be like 20 years from now they'll use to describe your culture?
Oh, geez, probably like slay, fire, things like that.
Kyle, you're millennial. What do you think is one word?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. That's hard. That is really tough. Yeah.
I kind of think Generation X is, we use badass for everything.
Badass, dude, man.
Yeah.
I feel like millennials, we just use normal words.
No. You guys started at like all that in a bag of chips.
You guys started pretzel buns. That's good. I'll give you that.
You guys.
I saw this thing. I was going to get into this, but I think it's so interesting. It's some cool things that happened for the first time in 2024. Can you think of anything that happened for the first time in 2024?
That rocket returning to the pad. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Robots were announced.
That's not in here.
No.
For example, father and son duo played in the NBA for the same team. LeBron James and his son Bronny.
Big time.
That was
AI
big.
started taking over.
Breaking made its Olympic debut.
Yes.
But it was short-lived. It will not be in the 2028 games.
I
didn't see this next thing, but scientists observed an orangutan treating itself with medicinal herbs in the wild.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
A former U.S. president was convicted of a felony. Wow. Also, Donald Trump became the oldest person elected president.
Oh, really? He's older than Joe Biden?
I guess.
Was when he got elected?
I guess so. Saudi Arabia hosted a swimsuit fashion show. A street food taco stand in Mexico got a Michelin star.
Oh.
These are the first things that first time it's ever happened.
But that's delicious.
How about this? Like, this is something else I didn't know. An extreme marathoner finished running the length of Africa from top to bottom, running 10,000 miles over the course of 352 days.
Wow.
Sheesh.
A pig kidney was successfully transplanted into a human.
Crazy.
And scientists detected water on an asteroid's surface.
I feel like these should have been bigger headlines. We missed a few of these.
How can they tell there's water on an asteroid? It's going a billion miles an hour. And they got binoculars. Like, look at it. There it is. Look at it. That had to be water.
They saw the little tiny droplet.
That was water. Anyway. Hey, Peyton, what's the story with you saying first time you just got basketball shoes? Because you've been playing basketball your whole life.
Yeah, I've been playing basketball since I was 7 or 8, and I'm 26 now. So literally my entire life. And on the basketball court, you need basketball shoes, right? You can't wear them outside. Like, that's a big no-no, X, Y, and Z, right? I stopped playing basketball 4 years ago when I was like graduating college, right? And so I bought my very first pair of basketball shoes, but to wear as street shoes. The first time ever.
What shoes did you get?
I got the Sabrina 2s.
The Sabrina 2s.
Because I was just like, so I got these basketball shoes to like wear with my coaching outfits. And when I stepped outside in these shoes for the first time, it felt so wrong.
You're like, whoa, no.
So you don't just wear them as a coach when you're on the court. You're wearing them out as normal shoes.
No, I'll probably just wear them with like my athletic gear. I wouldn't wear them like into here unless I was wearing like my Basha stuff.
Your athletic gear, I mean, when you're coaching?
Yeah, like when I'm coaching, like if we're wearing like leggings and a hoodie or like sweatsuits and stuff like that.
I kind of got that way now with like, because of my son Dutch, I've learned a lot about shoes and like the Kobe's, for example, right? Kobe's are these great basketball shoes. They're way expensive shoes. And now it's like I've seen people wear Kobe's out in public. And I'm like, what the hell's that guy doing?
Exactly.
What's he doing? And you usually find out whenever you see someone wearing Kobe's, they're like some rich, clueless person.
They have no idea.
You have to be like that one influencer. Excuse me, what do you do for a living that you would wear these just out and about?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's funny. We were at this restaurant, and this guy came walking in, and he was wearing the Grinch Kobe's, and he was wearing them, right? And he was sitting on a chair waiting for his food to go. And I go, look at that guy wearing Kobe's. And Dutch goes, that's okay, because that's so-and-so. And he was a huge gamer YouTuber. I can't remember who it was. But he always wears Kobe's. I don't know. Do you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is. But if you're able to rock Grinch Kobe's and you're not on a basketball court, then you can definitely wear them out and about. Those are like $1,500 pair of shoes.
Dang.
I know.
Their resale is like absolutely insane. And I mean, that just happens. I mean, Kobe died in 2020, and his shoes just went bloop all the way up.
They're $1,500. So what's a pair
They get up there.
What's a pair of like Louboutins cost, Kyle? Same.
Around there, yeah, 15 to 2,000.
That's about right.
But you can't play basketball really well in Louboutins.
Well,
I don't think you could. Although they do have tennis shoes, so maybe.